Today I'm going to be breaking down how you can use the Royal Champion in combination with Super Hog Riders here at Townhall 14 to 3-star any base. So of course Super Hog Riders recently got a buff here in Clash of Clans, and that has made them much stronger than they used to be. In combination with that Royal Champion and of course the RC charge with those invisibility spells, it is the perfect pairing. So let's jump in and we will break this down. So the first thing we're going to be doing when we come in with this type of attack is of course identifying what the best part of the base to bring that Royal Champion in is. Now typically you're looking to pick off high damage buildings, especially buildings that can do splash damage. This of course primarily is going to be the Town Hall. Typically though, this is going to be pretty hard to get to with only a partial Royal Champion charge, but you're also looking out for things like scatter shots, multi-target infernos, the Eagle Artillery, and of course those Clan Castle troops. Now ideally you don't want those CC troops to lock onto your Royal Champion, but if we go ahead and play this, you will see we do try to keep that Royal Champion under invisibility spell at all times. She is going to go here straight to the building we are primarily targeting. That is of course going to be in here towards that scatter shot. We've also got the single target inferno in there. Anything like that that you can take down is going to be beneficial. You'll see there we do pull out the Clan Castle troops, of course the triple ice golem in this particular one. We don't want to deal with them though, so we're just going to go ahead, recall our Royal Champion. She's picked up the value we were looking for, and she's actually created a really nice funnel there on that right hand side of the base. And because we have now lured out those Clan Castle troops, we can pull them over to one side of the base and deal with them with our Archer Queen, who of course, as you just saw, came in with that giant arrow. Typically you're doing this not only to help begin that funnel, you can see just by using that we've already cleared like 6 buildings at that top section of the base, but you're also looking for her to activate that Town Hall nice and early so those Super Hog Riders will target it. Of course, as you progress through the base, you're going to want to maintain some sort of a funnel, which is what we're going to continue doing here with that Yeti and the Wizard over there on that left hand side. Queen is going to be joined by the King very shortly, and he comes alongside an Ice Golem. Typically, you're going to deploy down these Ice Golems to come out and protect in these heavy fire portions of the base, so your king and queen can stay alive just for that little bit longer. Our siege machine of choice for this one is going to be that log launcher coming through from that top section of the base. Keep an eye out for that earthquake spell, which will come in as well. Skeleton spell, a really underrated spell, going to be joining the fray over here on that left hand side, actually tanking for that single target inferno for a good amount of time, allowing our king to get in there, popping off his ability, and he is going to be able to get in there and help deal with that Town Hall as the log launcher pops, and we get some extra Yetis in there just to help with the fight. Now Queen is going to very nicely deal with that left hand side of the base for her. Of course we have lots of healing on her with those healers from the healer puppet as well as the unicorn itself, so she should be able to get enough to deal with that scatter shot on the left hand side of the base. We've already dealt with the scatter shot on the right. The king and the log launcher have gone all the way through, cleared out the core. So actually these Super Hog Riders in combination with our Grand Warden and the RC, who's been redeployed after being recalled earlier in the attack, they're all going to be able to come through on the back end of this one and smash through the rest of the base. Honestly, the Super Hog Riders are a really great choice when it comes to a troop. Probably better than regular Hog Riders. Of course, they're going to be a little bit more expensive when it comes to housing space, but when they pop, you're of course going to get 2 more additional troops, which is really going to benefit of course when it comes to cleanup. But you guys can see just how strong this attack was. We end up with pretty much all of our heroes still on full HP. We even swag a freeze spell in there as well. Just an unbelievably powerful attack, and we have 2 more examples of this, so let's jump in and we'll break them down. And before we fully jump into this next one, don't forget the link for this army is down in the description as always. While you guys are down there, feel free to let me know in the comments if you have tried out Super Hog Riders since they have been buffed. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to us here at the Barracks as we push to try and reach 2,000 subscribers. But let's hop in to this second example. Going to be coming in, of course, with that Royal Champion yet again. Those electro boots on her are one of those pieces of equipment that it is absolutely worth upgrading. They, of course, were incredibly overpowered when they initially dropped into the game, and they have since received a couple of nerfs, but they are still very, very powerful, especially down here at these lower town halls where you're able to take full advantage and get unbelievably good value. There is that recall spell that's going to be coming in. We pull our Royal Champion out of there, making sure we maintain a very nice funnel, and this is what I talked about. We got quite a few buildings. We didn't quite get the scatter shot, which would have been nice, but we were still able to get a lot of value, including that Eagle Artillery. We also lured out the Clan Castle troops, so of course we can pull those 3 ice golems over to that left hand side, and then our queen comes through straight away with that giant arrow ability. Typically you're not going to want to hold on to this for too long. You want to bring it in, fire it all the way through the core of the base to try and maximize the amount of damage that you are doing. We're then going to be bringing in our log launcher, our king, and our ice golem. Now we do get a little bit unfortunate here with our ice golem walking all the way off to that right hand side. Maybe should have been slightly quicker with that yeti and wizard funnel, but regardless we're still able to push through into the core. Now if I pause things up right here, you guys can see we did just drop down that earthquake spell. Now you might be wondering, why just drop down one random earthquake spell? And that is because it does significant damage to walls. Of course you need 4 earthquake spells to break down a wall, but even just dropping down one in combination with the log launcher opens up those wall compartments significantly quicker. And of course it's going to deal 25% damage onto some of these defenses, which, while the log launcher is rolling over the top of them, allows it to take them down. So it's always worth bringing that earthquake spell. Just allows you to get a little bit more value with your kill squad, which of course is mainly just your king, your queen, and your siege. That town hall could potentially be a problem here, but luckily we timed it so our Super Hog Riders didn't have to wait too long to get into the base. They are going to push through into that town hall. We decide to use that rage spell. Unfortunately, some of them do end up getting caught in the blast of that town hall and that poison. But like I said, Super Hog Riders are a great troop because even when they pop, you get 2 additional troops coming out. Those hogs are a little bit squishy, but the riders themselves, of course, just going to help you with cleanup on the back end. And it's another incredibly powerful 3-star coming on through right here, showing just how versatile strategies can be at Townhall 14. We see lots of spam-based strategies, but there's also an incredible amount of really skill-based attack strategies like this one that you can pretty much always guarantee once you've mastered it, you're going to be bringing in lots of 3-stars. So we're being treated to one more example of the RC Hog Rider attack coming in here by Sparky. Big shout out to all of the guys that do the attacks for me at the Barracks. We've got an incredible team here of very powerful attackers, and I always love to showcase their attacks. So big shout out, this is to Mouse. You know who you are, but we're going to continue pushing on through right here. We have the RC just using that final invisibility spell, making sure we try to get that Eagle Artillery down. Now you'll notice this time we don't end up using that earthquake spell in combination with our log launcher, but we switch it up to using that earthquake spell to help take down the Eagle Artillery, because we knew it had significantly more HP and we may not have quite managed to get it down without our Royal Champion herself dying off. We don't want to lose her ability too early, we want to hold on to it, but we were able to get it down in time. There's the recall spell, and that Royal Champion ends up getting a very good amount of value. Coming in with this next part, there is the giant arrow, cleaning out multiple buildings right through the core of the base and getting us started with the next stage of this attack. Ice Golem going to be joining the fray, of course, going straight onto that archer tower, but that is going to be fine for us. Log launcher now starting to open up some of these wall compartments, and we of course have that skeleton spell in there, just tanking for that single target inferno, allowing our king to get in there, because if he gets locked onto too quickly, he is of course just going to die off, and that is not going to be ideal for anyone. Queen unfortunately not quite playing ball in this one. She ends up walking off to that right hand side, but it's not the end of the world because we do of course have the king and our clan castle troops pushing through into the core of the base. We now start to see those Super Hog Riders coming in from that right hand side. You will see they are being deployed, of course, in multiple different groups. We don't want to spam them too tightly grouped, because if they hit giant bombs, wizard towers, bomb towers, even scatter shots, they can take a lot of damage all together. So we typically want to try and spread them out as much as we can onto 1 or 2 different defenses as they deploy in. They will inevitably group up together like they have here, especially if they're caught by things like the tornado trap, but it's not going to be a problem for us because we still have spells to help support us. That free spell on the back end definitely going to help to get through that scatter shot, which of course you can see coming in right there. Royal Champion going to be using those rocket spears from her ability there on the back end, just helping to clean up some of these final defenses. It's really handy to have that piece of equipment in the back. Sometimes on these particular attacks you could see people switching up from the rocket spear to things like the haste vial, because the haste vial, of course, you could pop it when you're doing your actual Royal Champion charge, and that way you've got a little bit more of an oomph when you come in. But personally, I like this particular method of using the rocket spear in the back end with those Super Hog Riders. So if the Super Hogs so happen to path the wrong way, the Royal Champion could potentially take down those defenses, repath those Hog Riders onto those buildings you want. Well, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. As always, it is a pleasure to bring you guys all these strategy guides. If you have any strategies you would like to see, make sure you let me know down in the comments, and until the next one, I'll see you later.